When DV first hit the scene a decade ago, the only way to distribute your movies was on ancient and inferior VHS tape. Even so, the quality and editing convenience of mini DV made it the clear choice for professionals of all sorts. It wasn't until the DVD video revolution of a half dozen years later that end-to-end digital productions finally became a reality. Now it's 2007. And we're in exactly the same position today with HD. We can shoot it, we can edit it, but distribution is still a problem. Does that mean you should wait to make the leap to HD? We'll answer this question and more as we discuss HD distribution on TechKnow. Getting your production company into HD is somewhat expensive, but very doable. All told, including a camera, an editing system, and an HD monitor or television, you're probably talking about a minimum of $10,000 just to get started. And although you'll be able to hook your camera up directly to your television to see your HD footage and programs in all of their high-res glory, 10 grand isn't enough for anyone else to see your productions. In many ways, the situation we're in today is exactly the same one we were in with DV a decade ago, pre-DVD video authoring and distribution. In other ways, our situation is very different, and we are actually in a much better position today, because HD distribution is already a reality, and it has been for years. In the realm of corporate broadcasting and network television, HD distribution has been at least a possibility since digital transmissions began. Digital cable and satellite have been around for years, and now digital over-air broadcasts are becoming more widespread, especially since the government has mandated the transition to digital by 2009. Digital is not necessarily the same as HD, however, but digital does make HD a possible format for distribution. Let's first define what we're talking about. Standard definition is any format with less than 700 lines of horizontal resolution, which means anything from analog broadcast television, VHS tape, all the way up through DVD video. High definition video has 700 or more lines of horizontal resolution. This includes the two primary broadcast resolutions of 1280 by 720, aka 720p, and 1920 by 1080, aka 1080i. Standard definition DVD video is the most successful consumer electronics technology ever. So it's not unreasonable to assume that some sort of optical disc format might be in the future of HD. Indeed, two major technologies are currently competing in yet another format war: Blu-ray and HD DVD. Both optical disc formats use shorter 405 nanometer wavelength blue-violet laser light instead of the red lasers found in today's DVD players. The shorter wavelength light allows greater data densities, which means that you can store more on a disc of the same physical size. It should be noted that both types of discs hold exactly the same digital data, so the media format does not affect the quality of the video at all. There are, however, some technical differences between the two competitors. In summary, Blu-ray's tighter track pitch means greater data densities, which means you can squeeze more data on the disc. But if the failed beta tape format is any indicator, however, technical superiority isn't a good predictor of a format's ultimate success. And as of early 2007, HD DVD players and pre-recorded media are substantially cheaper than Blu-ray. Hybrid playback devices have been announced that will play both disc formats, so at least part of this discussion is moot anyhow. And ultimately, most consumers don't care about the format, as long as it works. Different industry players have already signed on and endorsed this or that technology, and while Blu-ray currently has a healthy lead in this regard, it is interesting to note that many companies are wisely supporting both formats. So the short answer for content producers is wait. Blu-ray and HD DVD burners are both expensive. The blank discs are expensive, and the first authoring tools are just starting to come out. More importantly, high-definition televisions and optical disc players are still well within the realm of the enthusiasts and early adopters, which is a fairly limited and geeky audience. Although the number of households with HD televisions and Blu-ray or HD DVD players that are not gaming systems is very, very small, many people already have HD monitors and playback devices ready to go today in the form of a personal computer. So one possible method for true HD video distribution is on standard ubiquitous DVD data discs played back on a computer. In fact, the first HD movie I ever saw was a Windows Media 9 demonstration of Terminator 3 burned on a standard data DVD disc. The only downside to this is that the vast majority of people don't have, and more importantly, don't want a computer in their living room. And although all of the big manufacturers insist that this year, 2007, is the year of convergence for the home theater and the computer, that's a claim I've heard a few times before. Wouldn't it be great if there was a standalone DVD player that could play back HD data burned to a standard DVD video disc? Chinese and Taiwanese manufacturers have developed the enhanced versatile disc and the forward versatile disc formats, which do exactly that. Since most DVD players are made in China, it's not unreasonable to assume that many, if not most, future DVD players will support both EVD and FVD. Now, one limitation to both the EVD and FVD formats is that the authoring tools are currently almost non-existent, and both formats will likely only be popular with enthusiasts and hobbyists without Hollywood and industry support. Neither of these formats will ever go mainstream. Once again, we had a situation just like this in the late 1990s before the DVD video era, when the VCD and SVCD formats let you burn video to cheap CD discs. The formats were huge in Asia, but both completely failed to catch on in the United States. EVD and FVD are very likely to suffer a similar fate. While we've been talking about the future of HD distribution, the future has already been here for a number of years already in the form of broadband internet connections. While this method of distribution also currently involves a computer, it looks like standalone living room players of one sort or another are in the works. This development is at least part of the reason why I believe that our current DVD video disc technology is the last physical format we will ever see for movie distribution. If adoption of broadband movie downloads outpaces Blu-ray and HD DVD, it will be the death of both of those formats. The biggest problem with distributing your video in any format is still your audience. They don't want to watch movies on their computers. They don't want to spend $1,000 on a new disc player. Heck, most people don't even want to spend $200 on a new disc player. And here's the reason why. Current DVD movies look fabulous on HD television sets. And they look even better with DVD players that have dedicated scaler chips to upsample SD video to HD. Sure, it's not true HD, but for most people, it's more than good enough. So how should you distribute your HD productions? The answer is plain old standard definition DVD video discs. Unless you're producing programming for HD transmission over satellite, cable, or digital broadcast, there really aren't any viable options right now. That doesn't mean that HD production is something you want to avoid. DJTV is shot and edited entirely in HD, but it's most commonly watched at resolutions of less than 320 by 240. And once a season is finished, we release the programs on standard DVD video discs, complete with extra features. Is all that extra resolution and quality going to waste? We don't think so.